thing out just to shut up Snoop.
Please do. Please do.
Snoop, an album called Doggy Style, right?
Yes, sir.
At that time in the 90s, let's say it sold 5 million records, right?
Right.
Michael Jackson told y'all at his best he made $1.20 a record. $1 to $1.20 a record.
Right.
That gives Snoop $1 a record. He sold 5 million.
$5 million.
Okay. He had a murder case for attorneys and all of that, and a judgment that cost $4.5 million.
Ooh.
Right?
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
He lived in a house, had a penthouse, and then he had a stash, another house over in Eagle Rock.
Mm-hmm.
The time he was on death row.
Yes, sir.
He drove around. He was ushered. He had a limo driver that drove him around in a Rolls Royce.
Yes, sir.
He had 2 security guards every day with him.
Mm-hmm.
He had studio time.
Mm-hmm.
And while on death row, he probably had 10 videos.
Yeah.
That right there is about $25 million.
Absolutely.
We got to say, okay, he sold 5 million records. Doggy Father later did another 3 million. So he had 8 million records.
Right.
His best album is 8 million. I mean, if we giving him Michael Jackson money, he was only supposed to make $8 million. You pay
Reggie,
50% of your videos.
Right.
You pay for your studio time.
Mm-hmm.
You pay for your limos. You pay for your security bill. All that comes out of his 8 million.
Yeah.
And
Reggie,
man.
Reggie, we got to say thank you for breaking that down numerically, because I don't think anybody had really looked at it the way you had just broke that down beforehand.
Yeah.
I'm
leaving out stuff like shows. You know, if you do music shows, I'm leaving out stuff like that. But you get that. That's your management to do that. So I'm not saying, you know, so that's another side of the thing. I'm leaving out publishing money and stuff like that. You know, you get a little bit of that, but it's not. My point is, it's still not that much money. That how can you be cheated? Snoop signed off. I personally did this deal when he left to go to Master P.
Okay.
He signed out, cleared up all records, everything, and his parting gift was $1 million. And signed off on everything, and we assigned his rights to Master P. Oh, well, Priority Records, to be honest.
Okay, because the story, because if this is an exclusive, we're honored to have gotten this, if this has never been disclosed publicly. What we had understood initially from the deal, Reggie, was that Master P had paid $3 million for Snoop's contract. So what is
it? Was 4.5. It was 4.5 million, and it came from Priority Records. However, Priority and Master P worked it out, I can't say.
Sir.
But it was 4.5 million, and Suge got a 5% or 7% override on those last 3. That's why he called his last album with Master P. The last meal.
Because
it wasn't towards. It was towards Suge. He was like, "This is the last time you're gonna need off for me," because Suge was no longer getting the override on him.
Right, and Suge did talk about this in a later interview where he did say, where Snoop was talking about, you know, you talking about I ain't gonna eat off of you no more, but Suge Knight's gonna be eating very well off of you, at least for 4 or 5 more albums.
It was only 3, but yeah.
Okay, got you. But this is amazing with this information, because you have given so much breakdown of how contracts are structured that artists today do not understand in terms of where your money goes. When you talked about what Michael Jackson did with Thriller, which is still the highest selling album all time, when you're looking at the standards of it, and the elements of artists and what they make, usually $1 to $2. I mean, if you get $2 off an album, I mean, you balling.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you balling.
The highest I heard back then. Now they make it more like that. E40 would be sitting over here laughing at you. But think of what E40 was doing. You know, he didn't have all that exposure like he did. E40 was, I mean, one of my favorite
But he was
artists.
independent with Jive. He was independent when he signed.
So they'll laugh. They'll be like, nigga, what you talking about? You know, I made $5, $6. You know, but I'm just saying, but you also put up most. Master P always brag on his deal. Always brag on his deal, the 80-20. He always say, yeah, I got 80% of the money and I gave the distributor 20%.
Right.
Where Master P fails to tell you and say, but he had to pay for everything.
Mm-hmm.
He had to pay for everything. And then he paid 20%. So he really didn't make 80% because he had to upfront a lot of money upfront. This is Suge deal. Suge had a 50-50 deal with Interscope. 50-50. Right. You pay for everything. We split 50%. Which deal is better? I don't know. I can't say. But I'd rather use, I listen to Magic Johnson and Steve Harvey and all of them talk, and they always use a term called OPM. They always say, think of OPM, y'all. And you say, what the hell is OPM? What that mean? It's called other people's money.
People's money.
Other OPM. And so that's how Look Suge deal was. OPM. You put up everything and pay for everything, and then we'll split the 50%. You get 50%, I get 50% of what's left over. Which deal is better? I don't know.
You know, Reggie, that's wild because rest in peace to Ray Stevenson. He did a movie called Kill the Irishman that was based on Danny Green. And there was a dialogue between him and another character in the movie, and they said, you know, always basically it amounted to what you just said. You always use other people's money, never use yours.
All the rich guys that I know, that's what they say.
Yeah, it's that a good businessman. What they said, what was it? A good businessman never uses his own money.
Correct.
When you think about that,
I was going to say this too, so we going into 95, and Tupac gets released from prison. Now, do you sense there's an energy shift amongst the team?
Not at the time. Definitely now after hearing all the interviews, but it eventually got there. You can see the jealousy. Things happened with the Dogg Pound, their album. If y'all don't remember, the Dogg Pound album was out in 95 and it was doing good. You normally back in the day you used to work 3 singles off of an album. The album got stopped at 2 singles. And so you was seeing a lot of the you saw people being jealous, but what can you say? Tupac was hitting home runs. You know, what you want? People hitting singles and doubles, or it's kind of hard.